Welcome back to Vor's Physical Media. I'm Vanessa. Please like our video. It lets us know that you actually like the content that we are putting out. It also helps YouTube algorithm get more of our videos out there for people like you and people like us. Don't forget to comment down below and keep subscribing. Well, my second movie review for you is It Ends With Us. Here is the front, the spine, and the back, and it is the same, but there is actually disc art. Sony actually put disc art on this one. Okay, so this movie is starring Blake Lively and Justin Baldini. I am not going to go over the whole legal issue happening on with it, whatnot. Blake Lively plays a character named Lily Bloom, and she's always wanted to open up a flower shop. And then you have Brandon Skellner, who plays Atlas, who is her first love, and she sees him later on down. And then you also have Justin Baldini, who plays Ryle Kincaid, who is a neurosurgeon. And then you have Jenny Slate, who is Allison, who is actually Justin's sister in this movie. Okay, so in the beginning of the movie, you see and get to see how she reacts with Atlas's character and whatnot, who is a homeless teenager who she ends up helping, and of course ends up falling in love with each other. Then you move fast forward. Well, she has a past that is a very traumatic past. Her father was very abusive with her mother, so she knew she didn't want to be in a relationship like that. She didn't want to have any of that. This is, you know, the regular chick flick type of movies, but with also some other stuff in it. And well, she goes to a funeral for her father, and her mother asked her to say 5 nice things about her dad, and she just couldn't. She couldn't face everybody and say he was such a great man when all she saw was how hateful and how abusive he was. So she's has like PTSD from this. So now later on, she finally gets to open up her flower shop and whatnot. She does meet Ryle beforehand on the roof, and he's the type of man that, you know, has the one night stands and, you know, gets what he wants. He never gets told no, and she pretty much told him no. She turned him down. Then his sister Alyssa comes in while she's now trying to open up the shop, get it ready, and she ends up being her best friend and helps her with the shop and works there and whatnot. And eventually Ryle and Lily meet back together, and he flat out tells her, you know, I don't want to be that person. I want to have a relationship with you. You know, I want to do that. I want to do that for you, for us. So they're having this relationship, and, you know, the sparks fly, they're in love, and, you know, everything's all good. Okay, well, later on, her mom's in town, and she's supposed to go to dinner with her mom. Well, her mom wants to go to this restaurant called Root. Well, of course, Ryle wants to come along and meet her mom. Well, turns out, guess who owns the restaurant? Atlas owns this restaurant, and she sees him, and she realizes it's him, and she goes to the bathroom and talks to him and whatnot. Okay, well, obviously Atlas is her first love, high school sweetheart, you know, type of a deal. He knows everything from the abusive dad to whatnot. Okay, well, now you fast forward a little more, and you've got Alyssa and her husband want to go to Root with them as a double date with Lily and Rao. So they end up going to this, but before that, going to the restaurant, but before that happens, like right before this happens, Ra was trying to do something cute. He was trying to make her like breakfast in bed type of a deal in his apartment, and she warned him that, hey, you're you know, I think it's a frittata, you know, she's like, it's burning, and he didn't believe her. And then he realized, oh crap, you know, the oven, you know, there's a bunch of smoke, and he realizes that, well, instead of grabbing a pot holder, he tries to grab this plate out of the oven. And if you've ever hit your hand, arm, whatever on the oven, it freaking hurts. Well, he grabs it bare hand, and he comes up and he hits her in the face. So now she's got this horrible black eye. She's tried to cover it up as best as she could. And now they're at the restaurant. Well, again, Atlas knows about the abuse with her father and her mother. So she goes to the bathroom, and he's in the bathroom, and she explains it was an accident, you know, he didn't mean to do this, you know, it would, and whatnot. And of course, they come out of the bathroom, and Ryle's standing there, and he starts to beat the crap out of Atlas, and Atlas tells him he needs to leave his restaurant. And so they go out, and he's like, are you cheating on me with him, and da 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 da. And she says no, you know, you know, she knows about my past, he knows about my past, you know, whatnot with that, and what. Move forward. Well, after that whole incident, Atlas comes to her flower shop and apologizes that, you know, he got very hot-headed, he probably shouldn't have done what he done to her, you know, boyfriend and whatnot. And he said, but if you do need something, you know, I'm always here for you no matter what. And he gives her his phone number, and he puts it in her phone case, and he closes it. He said, if you ever need me, just call me. Well, now you move on. Well, Ryle and Lily end up getting married, and they live in his apartment now and whatnot. And she asked her husband to go plug her phone in, and he does, and he accidentally drops the phone, and the case opens, and here's his number. He calls the number, finds out it's Atlas. So now he definitely has, like, she's cheating on me. And she explains, no, he came to the shop, he apologized, you know, she then tells him he's been there, he understands, he gave me his number, that, you know, because he saw my black eye with abuse from my father. She's trying to explain to him, and he's not wanting to listen. I mean, he's got an anger problem, and so he's trying to go to Root to probably go beat the hell out of him again. And she tries to stop him. Well, one thing led to another, and she falls down the steps. Brings her back in, he helps her up. She doesn't remember what happened. Okay, we move on. Well, her shop got put in the top 10 most places to be in Boston. Well, her shop was number 7, which is great. She's very super proud. She made dinner, everything. Well, guess who's number 1? Root. And they had the interview, and he explains everything, and pretty much what she has, this little tattoo, what the tattoo really technically means. And of course her husband reads this. He comes home, and he pretty much forces himself on her, and he tries to bite the tattoo off of her skin, and sexually assaults her when she's told him multiple times, no, get off of me, type of a deal. Well, she ends up leaving, going to the restaurant. Obviously, Atlas knows what's going on. He takes her to the emergency room and whatnot, and she, you know, obviously explains what happened. And they said that the only thing that we could do is pretty much clean this up. I can't bring you in for x-rays to see if there's any more other damage. And she kind of just looked at him. She said, because you're pregnant. So Alice obviously brings her back home, and he's like, you do whatever you need to do. Well, she ends up keeping this baby because her mom now, that's what she's also wanted to be. And she knows that no matter what happens, that everything that happens ends with her daughter, because she ends up having a daughter. And she ends up leaving Rao, which is good because he's fucking psychotic. But that's pretty much what this movie is about. It is based off of a book. Like I said earlier, it is the typical chick flick, love, pretty much at first sight, blah 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 blah. And I don't want to say blah 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 blah, but that's pretty much what it is. The typical. That's the reason why I'm doing this one, and Charles is not. But it does deliver a huge message at the end of this movie of her realizing that she doesn't want her daughter to go through what her mom went through. Yes, she may physically have not had it till she was later on in life, but she wants to make sure that it never happens to her. Well, as a mother, you want to protect your children, so that's what this movie is about. It ends with us. It's a good movie. It does have, like I said, that heart-warming story, a good point to the story, and whatnot. If you have not seen it, definitely check it out. Would I recommend purchasing this? I would stream it. I definitely will not want to watch this movie for a while. I'm not saying that it's bad. The whole trauma thing, I can't do. So, but that is what this movie is about. And let me know down below if you've seen this or you planning on seeing this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will definitely see you on the next one.